So when you see a Sea Ray, you know it.
There was a period of time that you could not convince anybody that a Sea Ray wasn't the sexiest boat on the water.
The thing that makes it memorable is that the design DNA is still present.
We know that richer moments on the water lead to a richer life. And it's so core to who we are and that belief. It's interwoven into everything that we do in the company. And it's even part of our tagline, every moment perfectly crafted, is exactly what we're trying to deliver. My name is Shelby Kirby, and I'm the Senior Director of Marketing with Sea Ray.
Paul Siebert, I'm Director of Advanced Design at Brunswick.
I'm Charlie Foss, I'm the Design Director for the Brunswick Boat Group Technology Center.
My name's Jeff Edipa, I'm the Program Director for Sea Ray Boats.
My name is Carrie Fodor, and I am the Design Manager for Sea Ray.
My name is Steve Langlais. I'm President of Sea Ray Boats, and I'm currently located in Knoxville, Tennessee. For Sea Ray, we have been recognized as the icon that everybody's looking at. And we're not about following everybody else, we're about leading the industry.
Sea Ray is now putting in place the key ingredients from a capability and philosophy standpoint to be one of the strongest brands in the future. And it's coming from one of the strongest brands in the past.
Stop and think, in 1959, I had 3 employees.
Well, I designed my life away, everything I own. That's how it all started.
So our founder is C.N. Ray. So the name Sea Ray is a kind of Marinized derivative of his name. Arch Mahaffey and C.N. Ray in the late 1950s, they went out and started evaluating small businesses that they thought they might want to get into. And they stumbled upon this company called Carcraft. Carcraft is a small fiberglass manufacturing company that had 3 product lines. Fast forward, he acquires the Carcraft brand for $50,000, which came with a few boat hulls. And he, the original founder of Carcraft, his friend Arch, and the lead fiberglass gentleman, together they started the company. C.N. Ray had a vision beyond. He knew that consumers wanted more than what was on the market today. Over the course of Sea Ray's time, Sea Ray has been in many different types of crafts, from small sport boats to jet boats to performance boats to stern drive and outboard. Sea Ray has really kind of stretched the brand experience across many different types of watercrafts. Sea Ray owns the cruiser market.
Sea Ray put the Express Cruiser and made it America's boat with the Sundancer line. It combined everything that everyone wanted to do with the boat. Sporty performance, soft riding, and enough amenity that you could take the family away for a weekend aboard the boat.
When you say Sundancer to people who know boating, they know that that's been an icon in the industry.
It started a whole wave of the express boat market, and it's been copied by everybody, but nobody does it quite like Sea Ray does.
Before what we know today as a modern day cruiser, there wasn't anything like that. And Jerry Michalak thought, well, what if we got a little bit more space and had a little kind of cuddy area aft? What if we lifted the floor a little bit? And then what if we could wrap that windshield all the way around? At the time, no one had seen anything like that before. It's what we know as Sundancer today, but that was also the start of cruisers.
Sundancer owners walked a little taller. They had a little more swagger.
Everyone swarmed to it.
You could have created a magazine for Sundancer. There was enough of a fleet out there and enough of an owner base that it was its own culture.
If you look back 70s, 80s, the boats had these very long bows, and I'd say roughly 70% of the boat was given to the interior. As fiberglass materials advanced, you saw arches become hardtops, you saw open boats become enclosed boats. And once we got to that point, we got to about 50% interior, 50% exterior space. And it was really a sign of the times, but it almost got this more cab forward design. So the glass and the superstructure actually started shifting forward on the boat.
And so the current design assignment is to take the spirit and some of the DNA in the early Sundancer and embody it in a future-oriented craft. Yeah, there's clearly a design DNA that I think is very respectable. In fact, it's quite interesting that the history of Sea Ray includes design greats like Harley Earl. And anyone who knows that name is going to know the amazing amount of automotive design pioneering that happened. So I think C.N. Ray had a deep appreciation for design integrity.
There are some pure DNA traits of a Sea Ray that you can recognize from a distance.
The lines on the boat are very recognizable.
You'll see a very long, elongated S-shear line when you look at the boat from the side.
It really is that modern elegance of the boat.
The center crease that comes across, the S-shear line, that's always going to be with Sea Ray. So when you see this boat, even if you see it off in the distance, when you look at it, you're going to know it's a Sea Ray just by the way it sits, by its stance, by its profile. Design goes through different evolutions, but when you really dig into it, that language is always there.
As we kind of went into this new design language for Sea Ray, I spent a lot of time looking at the past. And everybody would point at it and they would say, that time period of Sea Ray, that was the best part of the boat, that was the best part of the brand that's ever been done. And so you start to question, well, why was that? What is next? We know we can't keep doing what we were doing, so we almost need to redefine ourselves. We need to become something different. And we need to hold on to what made us successful in the past, but looking towards the future, how are we going to be something different?
I think design inspiration comes from everything that we engage with in our culture. So we look at everything from certainly things like automotive to RV, even interiors of jets. We look at architecture, anything that would be configuring modern design today.
And then each individual designer always has something that just speaks to them. Maybe they're into motorcycles or planes or outdoor activities. There's always little things from your personal life that you kind of bring in as well and incorporate. We have the ability in our design department to generate some concepts and spend a little bit of time doing these really, blue sky, what if, what might we do if this?
We're very open. Designers are in engineering reviews, engineers are in design reviews, and it's a very collaborative environment. For the new design language, it's the being athletic, confident, distinctive, and sleek. The idea is that by using this cohesive design language is that you will always be able to recognize a Sea Ray. No matter what it says on the side, whether the badge isn't there or not, you should be able to point at it and say that's a Sea Ray. We practice a user-centered design process. So what that means is everything is focused on that end user, and the first part of that process is research. So we go out and we talk with customers. We get to know them very well and spend a lot of time with them. And it's in that attempt to learn, you know, what boating means to them and how we can make better boats.
And then we also work with our technology partners and with our other Brunswick companies to understand what customer pleasers, our exciters, we can bring into the product that customers don't even really know they want yet because they're not aware of the technology. The only way I think you can bring a boat like this to life is to have passionate individuals involved with the entire process of creating it. The Tech Center is a collaboration of some of the best engineers and designers in the industry.
We've got everything from consumer insights, design, engineering, naval architects, structural engineers, electrical engineers, drafting, every discipline of engineering that you can imagine underneath one roof.
In a way, it's like walking into this laboratory of brilliant people who are studying everything happening in the world and pulling into our industry what's relevant and important.
I think we're trying to make technology backgrounded. And I think the things that people appreciate most is when technology is largely invisible, but enabling.
Honestly, it's very different than the rest of the industry. Nobody has the capability that we have.
The fact that the new generation of models is being built right where they make it as well, there's a huge benefit to learning through the fabrication process and to make sure that the DNA of the brand is absolutely embodied in the manufacturing operations as much as the design. So if you can think of it as sort of the heart and the mind living together in the Tech Center, that's been the intent. And the way to get to the future faster is to prototype. So it's one of the most important dimensions of our process is to not just imagine, but to build.
To see where the team's going and what is next is even more spectacular. And
today, we have advanced modeling techniques, including virtual reality, that has finally come into its promise, where we can very immersively build a boat model and feel as though we're on it before it's ever been fabricated. It's a stunning change.
How amazing to be in Florida, having done a design, put on your headset, and you're inside the boat you just designed to feel out the visual kind of spatial elements and make sure that it fits.
And then on top of that, we have full prototyping capability. We have 5-axis mills, so we can mill all of our own tooling.
We embrace state-of-the-art tools, and we have a very strong capability in hydrodynamic design and nautical architecture, so that the technical aspects of our hulls are as important as the aesthetic.
What the tools that we have allow us to do is be assured that once we get the boat on the water and we start running it, it's going to be successful and do what we want. And it also allows us to optimize our product, right? So we're not putting in things that we don't need.
Sea Ray's expert at building boats. You know, let's face it, I mean, they have the top technology, they have the top people, top designers. It's not just designing the boat, but they can manifest it in reality in a way that from the drawing table to the water, very little is lost.
I really believe that there's nothing that we can't do coming out of the Tech Center.
that is Sea Ray. That's exactly what I want people to say is, wow, that's a Sea Ray. And then the second thing I'd want them to say is, that's a Sea Ray? This 370 Sundancer is the reinvention of Sea Ray.
It is the culmination of so much intention and thoughtfulness and all the right minds coming together that it is, I call it an icon reinvented, is what it is. And it can be Sundancer, it can be Sea Ray, it's both names together. This is a huge release for us.
This boat is really the first opportunity for us to get Sea Ray back to where it once was and where we want it to be.
We completely started from the ground up. We knew that that was going to be the boat that would carry the new design language.
It's been 2 years in the making. So for 2 years, I've seen sketches, and then I've seen renderings, and then I've seen more advanced renderings, and then I've seen colors and materials, and I've heard the team members and their voices and how excited they are about it.
On the 370, everything is there.
There's a lot more attention to the small things, attention to creature comforts.
Once you get on the boat, then it's all the features. It's, you know, the walk-through door, the bow seating, the way we executed the interior, the materials, the touch and feel of it, the amount of space that's in the boat. The boat feels, even though it's 37 feet, it feels like a 40-foot boat.
Every detail has been considered, even down to the graphic interface. So every press of a button, what does the button look like? Does it slide? Does it press? Does it illuminate? Every little aspect of that interface was considered as well. This is probably the most elegant, beautiful quilting pattern in the seats that we've ever done.
You get your day boating space in this great open bow, and you get luxurious overnight accommodations in the cabin.
The level of craftsmanship is quite detailed.
The first thing you're going to notice is easy use and the fact that it's thought out.
Everything from the joystick piloting, you know, as you're coming in, to be able to just grab the joystick and move the boat sideways. It gives you confidence as a captain.
Every part of Sea Ray is really working well here.
As the boat would come around the corner, one of the first things you're going to notice is the profile and the lines that the Sundancer has. So as you look at the boat in profile, you can see a tip of the hat to the heritage of Sundancer. But then you can also see the next step in the evolution into our new design language.
You know, boats are a lifestyle. It's not a widget. It's not a pair of shoes. It's something that people's personality, people's self-worth in a lot of cases is invested in this product. Many people aren't going away for 4 and 5 days or long weekends anymore. It's day boating.
This boat is great for families. If you have kids, you want to have friends on board and have great time and the capacity to overnight and go for a long weekend. It's kind of the perfect getaway and the perfect tool to have those great memories.
It's beyond just form and function.
It's a turning point for the brand to say, here we are, you may have known us, but now we're something slightly different.
We hope that people feel a little bit of the heritage and the confidence the confidence of the brand that eventually manifests itself as the confidence in the boat pilot.
In the future, we will look back and say, this is one for the history books. This is the first reinvention of the brand, the first signifier of that, the first taste of the new Sea Ray that everyone will get.
When you look at it, it gets everything that Sea Ray has been known for, but it's also the representation of what Sea Ray is going to be.
The design language that you see in the boat, the level of thought that goes into the design of the boat, the integration of engineering with design, with manufacturing.
For me, it's a big success.
It's the first step of where we're going with Sea Ray, and there's only more good things to come. I think Sea Ray would love this boat. We took a lot of the things that he talked about and he thought about, you know, from a quality standpoint, from a running standpoint, a dry, solid boat. That's all back in this boat.
He would have the biggest smile on his face. And I think he would be so proud in that moment that he took the adventure with his friend, that he invested in this dream, and that he built something that has stood the test of time.
And I think he would be stunned at the layers of technology.
I hope his first instinct would be to say that is a Sea Ray.
We're always trying to push the boundaries and do something different.
And we're always looking at how can we improve the customer experience.
The marine industry and the future of Sea Ray is about building memorable moments on the water. We're going to keep putting all of the technologies and our knowledge of boating industry to make the next generation of boats.
We're going to continue to reach out and wrap our arms around our consumers and make sure that they feel like they're part of our family, that boating is easy, and that there's no other, brand they would choose to do business with than Sea Ray.